Alright, hey guys, my name is Shadow, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. So today, we're going to be taking another look at the Python. So as you guys are probably aware, Frontier have significantly buffed the enemy AI, and really, there is just no more messing around with builds. There's no more putting superfluous things on our ships and just taking them out there and doing whatever and making millions of credits. It just doesn't work like that anymore. They have made the enemy AI not just a little bit stronger, but they have made it ridiculously strong. I'm talking about so strong that you can take your A-rated Python into a HazRES site and it will be destroyed in 30 seconds. I mean, that's what we're talking about. So, what can we do to protect ourselves against that? Because as much as Frontier keeps saying that they're toning this down and they're going to fix it and stuff, they're not. They're just not doing it. So, what can we do to combat this? Well, we can change our builds. That's what we can do. So, what have we done? What are the major things that we've done? Well, first, we're going to take a look at our hard points here. Now, a lot of this build you might recognize from our A-rated Python video, but a lot of it is significantly different. In fact, pretty much all of our weapons here are significantly different from that. And that's one of the main points of this build, are the weapons. Now, if you have been in combat since 2.1 launched, you will know that not only have the enemies become much smarter, but they have gained this really weird ability to just fire at you for an infinite amount of time. And since Frontier don't seem to be fixing this on their own, we need some way to combat this. Well, that's what I've got here today. I have a way to combat this. So the enemy can fire at you for an almost infinite amount of time. Well, we need to be able to return that. We need to be able to fire at them for an infinite amount of time. So let's see what we've got here. We've got 2 C3 multi-cannons. Now, obviously, these have to stop and reload, and you'll have to be aiming at your enemy. However, it's really the lasers that are the strong point of this build. So, what we have here is one 3F turreted pulse laser. Now, that is the front laser that's mounted right under the nose of the ship. And then we have 2 2E turreted beam lasers, and these are the ones that are mounted on the top of the ship. Now, why do I have a pulse laser and 2 beam lasers, and why are they on turrets? Because with our 7A power distributor, this combination of weapons can actually fire infinitely. So let's take a look at the rest of the build and see what we've got. So for our utility mounts, we've pretty much got the same stuff. Kill warrant scanner, 3 A shield boosters. This is very important. When we dump all of our power into our shields, that's really where these 3 shield boosters come into play, because they'll just keep you alive for quite a while. So let's see what else we've got. Now, our internal modules are pretty much the same as on the A-rated Python. The military hall, 7A power plant, 6A thrusters, 5A frameshift drive, which is not really essential to a bounty hunting build, but we have it because it's A-rated. 4A life support, like I just said, our 7A power distributor, 6A sensors, and of course a fuel tank. Now, the optional internal components are the other part of this build that's very important. So let's take a look in here. So we have our 6A shield generator, which is the biggest shield generator we can put on the Python, and coupled with that, we have 2 6A shield cell bank. Now, each one of these holds 5 charges, so you'll be able to use each 6A shield cell bank 5 times, so we actually have 10 6A shield cells total. Then, when we run out of those shield cells, we have 2 5A banks. Now, these don't work as well as the 6A, but it's better than nothing, and you're probably going to need them if you're going into the Hazardous Resource Extraction Site, because that AI, damn. So, what else do we have on here? Well, we have a 4D hull reinforcement package. We have our advanced discovery scanner. We still have the interdictor on here. That's not really useful for, bounty hunting, but it is part of this build, so I'm just going to keep it on the ship. I mean, you can swap this out if all you're going to be doing is bounty hunting, but if you want to pick up an assassination mission or something, you're going to need the interdictor. So that's why I'm including it in this build. But other than that, that's it for our optional internal. Now, that's really the core of this build. So we're going to take this out and see how this performs against this really, really ridiculous enemy AI, and hopefully just give it, a run for its money. So let's back out of the outfitting, exit out of the starport services. We'll launch the ship, and we'll test this out. Here we go. So, welcome back to the Hazardous Resource Extraction Site. Now, I still don't recommend coming here if you're in a ship that's very much smaller or less heavily armed than this. In fact, this may not even be a good idea, but we're gonna test this out and see just how much better this build is than what we had before, because that really wasn't working out with this new AI. So let's see if we can find something fitting to test this out with. We've got a federal gunship right here. Now, if that's alone, that would make a really good test. Okay, it is. So we're still gonna scan it because we still want to make money, and then we will just open fire on it as soon as we're done scanning. Okay, so we're still gonna do targeting the power plant, and that's pretty much it. I've got maximum power to my weapons right now, and I'm gonna open fire. Okay, now you can see I'm firing all 3 turrets, and it's draining the capacitor like zero drain on that. And I just took its shields right down, and now I'm gonna open up with the multi-cannons. Now I'm putting somewhat of a drain on the capacitor, but look how fast its hull is going down. Okay, now that it's coming toward me, maximum power to the shields, which I had a little trouble doing there because the controls didn't want to work with me. Okay, now you can see, okay, now he's firing on me and it's barely registering on my shields. I mean, he is doing a little bit of damage, but it's barely registering. Now, the main point of the turrets is that the new enemy AI likes to get and stay behind you. So that's why we need the turrets, because as you can see, if I just had gimbaled weapons, I would not be firing right now, but my turrets are just pretty much going continuously. They're firing at him even right now. Okay, he's got his shields back up, but not for long. I still have a little bit of energy left in that capacitor. I'm gonna put maximum power back in my weapons and recharge it. And when he comes around again, I'm just gonna switch that back to my shields. He's down to 25%. I'm also taking out his power plant. Here he comes again. Let's let him have it with the multi-cannons. Okay, now I'm gonna pop a shield cell. So that's only 1 out of 9 6A shield cells, and his power plant is done for right now. And I can even keep firing these lasers while my shield cell is charging my shields up, and it really doesn't even cause that much heat to build up. So these turrets are really quite advantageous like that. So that wasn't even too much of a challenge, and we just made 124,000 credits in the Hazardous Resource Extraction Site. So let's see if we can find maybe 1 or 2 more decent ships. Maybe this, okay, a Fer de Lance. Okay, here we go, we have a Fer de Lance up ahead. So I was really looking for something like a Python, because that's the most challenging ship that I can think of to show you guys what this ship is capable of. But Fer de Lance is also gonna be quite challenging with this new AI structure. So let's see what it can do. We'll just target his power plant, and we'll let him have it. Okay, now this ship seems to be ignoring us altogether. It's really not a typical situation, I've noticed, although I did just have 2 ships before this one just run away when I opened fire on them. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Sometimes the AI is so aggressive that there's nothing you can do about it, and sometimes it is dumb as hell. So I don't know. I don't know what Frontier is doing with this. So yeah, they seem to have broken the game fairly well though. Well, let's just see if we can actually take this guy out. He hasn't even fired on us once. He's gonna ram us. Okay. Okay, fortunately I got power into the shields before he actually rammed us, and you can see it really didn't make all that much difference, but he did a lot of damage to himself. Okay, now that battle was really where the turrets came into play. He was just above us and kind of behind us a lot of the time, but the turrets were doing great there. Oh, okay, now here's a python that I was just fighting a moment ago, and he just ran away. He actually did it twice. When I started shooting him, he just flew away. Like, he didn't fire back or anything. He just flew away. But now he's here engaged with this asp. So, yeah, and it is the same one. As you can see, I've already scanned him. So I'm just going to open fire on him while this asp is opening fire. Okay, and the asp just blew up. Okay, now the third time I've engaged it, this python finally seems to be firing back. So we're going to have maximum power to the shields. We're not going to hit the big rock. Yeah, okay, so now he's actually firing on us, and you can see he's doing a little bit of damage to the shields, but not a significant amount. We're doing way more damage to his shields than he's doing to ours. But we may need to use a shield cell here pretty soon. But even with most of the power in our shields, you can see it's really not draining that capacitor very fast. So we're going to use a shield cell, but we're just going to keep firing on him while that's happening. Because the heat buildup with these weapons is just very minimal. And even though he's not right in front of us, these turrets are just going to keep firing on him. They're just going to keep firing on him, and his shields are going to go down. And eventually he will be in front, like right about now. And that's when we're just going to let him have it with the class 3 multi-cannons. And look how quick those are taking down his hull. Look at that. That's amazing. I'm going to use another shield cell. And you may be thinking, Shadow, you're burning through those really fast. Yeah, but I have a lot of them. That's why I have a lot of them. That is specifically what this build is for, is combating this level of enemy AI. And I think it's working out pretty well, honestly. So now even when he's still right above us, we just keep firing. We just keep firing, keep firing. And he's down to 12%. 10%. Now we open up with the multi-cannons again. 4%. Okay, we need to charge up our weapon capacitors a little bit there. And he's at 1%. And he is done. He is done. We got him with the turrets. And that's really the strength of this build. Oh, and here's a Fer-de-Lance that ran away earlier. Yeah, that Python wasn't the only ship that did it. This Fer-de-Lance right here also ran away earlier when I started firing on it. But I don't think we need to engage it right now. I mean, you guys pretty much get the idea of what this build can do. So I hope you guys like this. Yeah, if you guys think this is a good idea, just let me know down in the comments. Hit that thumbs up button on the video. And that's pretty much it for this video. I'm going to get out of here now, guys. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. Hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.